I have never seen that dialogue. I've interacted with this door before. I could have sworn. I've never seen that. one thing I want to talk about with the batter's document here is, like, I'm pretty sure that is Adam holding his head up like that, but given that enough of his arm is visible in this picture, I don't know where his shackle is. Like, the shackle on his wrist should be visible, unless this is not Adam actually, but I don't know. And then again, character consistency is all over the place in Sincere Deceit, so I don't know. Also, this disappears once you finish the. This disappears once you finish the district, so you have to do it now. This would seem like just some random meme thing if it weren't for the fact that the words, specifically "our past," is highlighted in the same gray that the batter says the word "pure" in when he kills Jade, and like, this district is not pure, as well as when the judge talks to him in one of Jaden's psychological torture, psychological attacks, torture, where even though it's a lot harder to see then, but if you could catch his dialogue, he says, "Nothing remains, so why are you here?" And "you" is in that dark gray. Also, Gay Baby Jail, in terms of like the name of the room, this is what Window 2 used to be called back in Find Me. Like, if you were to teleport directly to a room called Gay Baby Jail, it would take you to Window 2. Also, when it comes to this room, there is, upon looking at the files, there is an interaction where Jericho pipes in upon seeing the batter. I don't know how you get to see that, because that guard stands here until the crossroads, and by that point Jericho is gone. So I don't know how you're supposed to see that unless I'm missing something, because that guard's here as soon upon first gaining control of the batter and coming down. This guard is here even after talking to Magdalene and being sent to the medical ward. That guard is here even after completing the medical ward. That guard is here. Did I check after? I don't know, but I would presume that that guard's still there even after being sent to the workshop by Magdalene after the mines. So I don't know how you're supposed to see that dialogue with Jericho. The only thing I could think is that it was left over from an earlier version of the prison, because the prison was still a very work in progress by around the time of the test build. So it's possible that in an earlier version you could have Jericho with you when you went into that room, but now you can't. I guess she burned. The corpse that chases you here is apparently the same one that chased you from that room and got eaten by Slothiel, because it says like he's back or something, like the switch that has it appear from that vent and you battle it. It's something like he returns or something like that, like it's him again, or basically saying like making it seem like they're the same, even though the guy literally just got eaten. So make of that what you will. Also, that corpse is there even after you finish the district. You can still battle it then. You can see with how fast I'm going that this is the reason why I need the batter to be as fast as he is, because like if I do this, because alpha levels up before the batter, until the batter levels up, because alpha will reach level 28 before the batter does. I don't know why this happens as a result of regaining your add-ons, but the alpha will be faster until the batter levels up, and that will end up throwing me off from not being able to be as fast as I need to be. Because having to, like, you already see the issue I'm having trying to get to Epsilon as fast as possible after using the batter. No you're not. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, see, this is what I was... But that's done... That shouldn't be done via a variable, right? I'm gonna have to check, because I thought it would be done via a switch, because I did check the Augusts to see how they function, because I remember not ever having this problem with the Augusts, but no, I checked and they are done via a switch. This would have to also be done via a variable, because that's not a liberated specter. Which means I'm gonna have to do that for these as well. I never thought this would be a problem here, because they're not done turn-based. But yeah, you see, like, literally, like, the example of what I meant by the wide angle description is not resetting. I do like that this guy is left unharmed, so you don't end up getting locked out of getting the Grand Brachial. If you didn't give the orb to him, or if you didn't have it until after you finish the prison. But this guy really just like being left here, out of like everyone else like either disappearing or getting killed is like it's kind of weird, but it's like okay. Because I don't think that guy has dialogue after the crossroads. Yeah, he literally just does not say anything in response to what just happened. It just comes it's not really immersion breaking, it's just like weird. People do say that Omega's photographic blur is like useless, but when you've played the game enough times, you can kind of like get a feel for what it will and will not work on. But unfortunately, I'm too like busy having my attention divided recording, so I can't like really like get into the feel of that. I can't like feel it out as much as I used to, especially after having played the test build, where the test build just completely did away with elemental weakness for some reason. And all of the enemies' weaknesses are different from Find Me 3.2 and Sincere Deceit. And Find Me 3.2's weaknesses are basically identical to Sincere Deceit. So I don't know what was going on with the test build. I don't know why they decided like midway through Sincere Deceit, when all that's really left is like the prison and the tower and whatnot, and then just go, yeah, we're going to completely overhaul the battle system. Because I've played the test build twice, and I've played Find Me 3.2 twice. One for red route and one for blue route. having played it, played them both basically back to back. It's caused me to like get my mental understanding of the weaknesses all jumbled, because I tend to understand it more like implicitly, like instinctually, than through actual memory. Generally, what Omega's photographic blur works on tends to be burns or ghouls. So basically, if Epsilon's tragedies work on it, there's a more often than not Omega's photographic blur will also work on it. There are also some things that are like resistant to both add-on and bat attacks where photographic blur works, because photographic blur seems to be something like weird, like in between or third type of element. Like for example, the hidden dusk, not the hidden dusk. Well, I think so. I think the hidden dusk counts, where it's basically resistant to all attacks, but Omega's photographic blur, it would actually be good with it. Or does it actually have photographic blur by that point? Maybe I'm getting that confused with the pastel burn. I might be getting it confused with the pastel burn, because I know there's some type of enemy that is resistant to both bat and add-on attacks where photographic blur is actually useful. But rarely ever will you actually use it because come-to-tune ratio is so good. And I mean, when you're spending like maybe 4 turns out of a battle doing nothing but boosting their speed, chances are the battle's gonna be done before there's any point before you can actually use Omega to attack. I forgot to last time, but I need to check now because I'm pretty sure it's not caused by... Yeah, see, okay. Because for a moment I thought maybe someone might maybe ask, oh, maybe is it because Captor Spectre was killed and it was all by itself, and maybe it's done via it being all by itself. No. It would be neat if one of the bodies actually had an item in it. Or maybe there is and I just didn't check every single one in RPG Maker. Like a little callback to Zone 1 with the cow halves. Because only one of those cow halves has an orb in it. I'm pretty sure usage isn't supposed to be spelled like that. Even just boosting my stats by 100, it shouldn't like be the reason why I'm like going through these enemies so fast. Like before, I would end up going like 200, 300, and I would just be like one-shotting things. But I don't think I'm actually doing worse than I normally do, because it usually doesn't take me that long to get through these snake battles. Now, when it comes to Yala, I actually ended up missing them the first time I went through here, because I got the Aura of Hostility and then exited through the top shelves again. And I think maybe why this is done is, again, like, maybe in one playthrough you counter them and in another you don't. So it creates that, like, that sense of, like, unknown, that randomness. But I mean, the reason why I didn't add tiles up here is, again, as one, partially because of what I surmised that to be the reason, and the two is, again, I don't know how to do move routes without potentially just soft locking the game. So I just let it be. Yala does not exist in 1.1.3. They were removed. I don't know, but I don't know why, but I mean, I have a semblance of a reason why, an idea why, but it's not something I want to talk about. There's no reason for me to talk about it because it has nothing to do with, like, Sincere Deceit itself. Also, this video is long enough already, and I need to get through it. Because when I say I'm going to kill every enemy, there's going to be a video that's going to be every single enemy, I meant it. I do find Yala very interesting, though, especially with potential connection to Judas. Because they only appear in this one area and then never again, and they're just not, like, they're not elaborated on at all. So it leaves a lot, so it's a mystery. Especially because they're both also J-named ghouls, like Jericho, Jessica, Jado, and Jabuk. And as we later see in a secret area, there is a Jado and Jabuk that can speak. So it leaves, like, what Yala and Judas are very interesting. I love how I use white angle and then immediately forget. Because they're also unique named, they're unique. Because, like, with the Jados and Jabuks, they're a type of species. They're not, like, unique named, but there is still, like, one that is non-hostile. And I think, I personally think that the docile Jabuk that you see in the in B2 of the Industry District is the Jabuk that you see in that one secret area. But when it comes to Jado, it's not so, like, easy to determine what he could be. Where he could have come from. There's this guy here. You can't see him due to how far up the screen scrolls when you go up to the glass. I mean, I guess one of these, your face is clipping through the wall. Maybe it's not. No, the glass is just not long enough. There's a gap. But I guess one of these Giottos could have been the one that's in that secret area. know you're meeting metal. I still don't know what these yellow orbs are, because they remind me of the science team's souls when they were awaiting absorption by Gaius. I'll look at this later. I said I would kill every enemy. People may not like how I go through the prison like this, and it might be more entertaining to go do it in the more conventional way, but this is how I do it. So I'm at my absolute strongest whenever I decide to choose which route to go. Because as I said, I don't like the prison. Again, word is not capitalized like it should be. Then again, there's no point in being coy about it now, but yes, I will be fighting Adam. I will be going for the judge first. Which means that there's a chance I might have to purposely wait out Adam's turn in order to see all of his dialogue, because I think I might be too powerful now. Which is a shame because Torn Tether is really good. I should have waited because I forgot. There are 4 snake venom alcohol bottles in total. And as you know, 4 is an important number in this world. And given that it's poison, 4 is also known to mean death.